ठीक है, let it be. Okay, fine. पूजा ओके कर दूं मैं, है ना?
हाँ जी.
Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to IG live session organized by IMS DIA. I am architect Tanya Gupta, head of the department interior design at IMS DIA. So today we are talking on a very relevant topic: why nature in interiors matter so much in improving our mental well-being. And we have with us Architect Pooja Thareja, who is an architect, educator, and urban planner. Welcome, Pooja. So, Pooja, let's
Hi,
start with
Tanya.
very basic. Hi. so,
Hi. Thank you so
because
much, Tanya. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So probably because I have seen you working on interior landscaping, you are an urban planner, you are landscape architect, and you also take this subject in interiors and architecture. So probably, but our viewers, for our viewers, I want to start with a very basic question. Why does nature matter so much in interior spaces these days? So
Okay,
what's
so
your view on that, Pooja? Yeah.
okay. So first of all, thank you so much for inviting me here. It's great to be here. I'm really looking forward to this conversation because I think this is such an important topic because the surroundings have a huge impact on how we feel every day, and we often don't even
Mm.
realize it, right? And honestly, I think we've become so disconnected from nature nowadays. We spend most of our time indoors now, whether it's working, whether we are just studying, or simply scrolling through our phone also. So I think when we bring natural elements into our interiors, it even in small ways, it helps us reconnect with something that makes us feel very calming and familiar. So, like natural light, plants, fresh air, and even natural materials, they help us reduce stress. They instantly improve our mood and make us feel much more comfortable in a space. And I think we have all somehow experienced that when we go for a walk in the park or while we're sitting outdoors, we automatically feel very much more relaxed, right? And as you mentioned, so interior scaping or interior landscaping is really about bringing some of that feeling back into our everyday indoor spaces. So, yeah.
Okay. So you used one term, interior scaping. So
Yes.
basically, the landscape in interior is technically called interior scaping, right?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
you
Interior
very
scaping
truly
or
mentioned.
interior
Yeah.
landscaping, as we call it, it's about bringing nature indoors because we spend most of our time indoors. So it's about connecting with nature while we are indoors. Yes.
Okay. So now I can relate, when you mention that we can have daylight when we are opening our building, and if we can see, plants or trees outside. So somehow we feel visually connected with the nature, though we are sitting in our interior spaces.
Yes. Yes.
Right? So,
Yes.
for someone who is watching us and they are thinking from where they can start, how they can improve their spaces by bringing some kinds of nature related elements, whether they are plants, whether it is the interior style, or whether it is any other elements which can, enhance the interiors and the connection with the nature, which we will talk later how it impacts the mental well-being of users. So what would you suggest for someone who really wants to start on this, enhancing their spaces with nature in interiors?
Okay.
So
So, Tanya,
yeah.
I think that when we think of a room of an indoor space, so it can be beautifully decorated. But if it's dark, if it's cluttered, or it's uncomfortable, the people won't enjoy sitting in that space, right? On the other hand, if a space simply has good daylight, it has good greenery and fresh air, I think we often feel much more welcoming and relaxing. So I think for someone to start with, they can just keep it simple. No, it's not too much of
Okay.
detailing or too much technicality. I think we can first of all start with a few indoor plants. That is the basic first step, right? Secondly, it's always to let the natural light in, because natural light is one of the most important design element, and it is actually free. It's available for free everywhere, right?
Yes.
Thirdly, we can use natural materials like wood or cotton or linen that give you a more natural and relaxing feel. And I think even just a view of greenery, maybe like even if you look out of a window and you see a green view from your window, even that gives you a much more relaxing feel, and you feel that you're connected with nature even while you're sitting indoors. But one important thing to note here is to not feel very overwhelmed. You don't have to transform your whole space overnight. Bring a lots of plants. Create your space into a jungle. That's not what the point is. It's basically start with one small corner, maybe your work desk. It could be your bedroom or even your balcony, and gradually you have to build from there. So that is how you can start.
Okay, so you meant to say keep it simple, keep it
Yes.
balanced, keep a visual connection with outside by having enough openings in our spaces, and there is no need to do very special things, and there is no need to overdo the things basically. So if
Yes.
I can understand, balance is very important when you think about how we can enhance our spaces by incorporating nature in interiors. Because what you are saying, I have seen, there are few spaces where they overdo the things, and at times they lose the the elegance of the space, or they look more cluttered, and then that natural elements and interiors, they basically don't affect the space that way what the designer must have perceived or the user must have perceived. Okay,
Yes. Yes.
so yeah, so that's quite insightful. uh, Now, going to our next section, I will just put up some, rapid questions to you, because
Okay.
what you mentioned that we can start very simple. So probably if I'm a, first time user, I will just have very quick tips from you. So just few questions for our users. You will get many ideas by the responses of our expert. So, Pooja, just one must-have plant in your interiors.
Okay, so one, I think indoor plant specifically for a beginner or someone who doesn't know much about interior scaping would be, I think, snake
Yeah.
plant, because it's super low
Okay.
maintenance and it is very great for air quality. So, considering the kind of pollution that we are living in, it's very important to improve the air quality in order to improve our health and mental well-being as well. So it's perfect for beginners because it doesn't demand too much attention and it still makes it looks beautiful and gives you a much better effect as compared to a plant that needs much more maintenance at a beginner level.
Okay, I think it recalled me that a research is also going on regarding this plant, how the AQI level in interiors can be improved by using snake plants in interiors. So yeah, that's a very very important plant, or a, I should say, mandatory plant one can have in their spaces, whether it's their
Yes.
residence, it's their office space, or any other space they have. Okay.
Yes.
Now, in terms of material, what would you suggest? One natural materials what we can have in interiors.
Okay, so I think something that you can see behind me probably. So I think it's wood because it's
Okay.
timeless,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
warm, and it's
Mm.
versatile. I mean, whether you talk about the furniture, whether you talk about the decorative accents or a wall paneling, or maybe a flooring also, I think wood instantly adds character and warmth to a space. So even if you like have a plain background like I have, and you have just wood feel in it, it gives you a much better warm feeling. It gives you a vibrancy and a cozy feeling at the same time.
Yes. So probably at times we go to, for vacations to rejuvenate
Yes.
ourselves, and we happen
Yes.
to choose those resorts which are very, very natural done, where they have used maybe natural wood in furnitures and in interiors. Yes, so
Yes.
wood is
Yes.
very important, and very, readily available material in our
Yes.
country, and to have that kind of feeling, it's a very straight answer that we should incorporate wood in our interiors. Okay, so
Yes.
now next question is on color. One color you want to suggest to our users that feels instantly calming.
Uh, okay, so I think for me it has to be soft green color. I mean, you just add the shades of green or soft greens, and they immediately remind you of nature. They create a very soothing and a refreshing atmosphere. So again, I think an example is in my background. So just by adding little
Yeah.
greens or little plants, there's a feeling that you're connected with nature automatically. So yeah, that would be one of the most my favorite color that instantly feels calming.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So definitely, if I ask you uh, whether plants in interior or no plants in interiors.
I think my answer would be obvious. It'll be always be plants for me because they bring life, they bring texture, they bring a sense of freshness. I think which is very difficult to achieve with any other decor element. I mean, plants just simply enhance your environment, your experience without adding and there's not too much budget that you need for it. Even with a small budget, even
Yeah.
with a small corner of the room, even with a small workspace or a small work desk, you can plants will automatically bring life in your indoor space.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
when it comes to style, so what would you refer to our users that shall we go for minimal style or cozy style or maximalist style? So, what would you refer to our users?
See, I think I won't go for a specific style. For me, I think I would
Okay,
go for something like a cozy minimal that is best of both worlds. I like
right.
a clean space with just enough warmth, enough personality, so that it makes you feel comfortable and also feel lived in. So sometimes minimal doesn't feel makes you feel cozy, and sometimes cozy doesn't give you a feel. It sometimes cozy means people just add too much elements, too much decor elements, too much plants. So I think it's a balance between
Hmm.
both of them, and balance and the best of both worlds, I believe.
Okay, so basically the space should feel cozy and style
Yes,
can be any. It
yes,
depends on the choice of the users. Okay.
but it has to be, I think,
Another
clean and balanced, and not overwhelmed. That is what I'm trying to
yes,
say.
yes, yes. Okay. So another question, whether curtains open or closed or partially closed. So what would you suggest? What kind of, curtain style users can have to have nature in
Um,
interiors?
Okay.
Yeah.
See, if you're talking about curtains open or closed, so definitely open because again, we want natural light to come
Okay.
in. Natural light makes all the difference. Natural light not only brightens the room, it also makes the room instantly feel larger, more welcoming, and brighter. But also, we have options of sheer curtains, which are, semi-transparent, which give a little light. And along with that, you can pair it up with, curtains, which are instant dark also. So, you can play with the light. So when in the daytime, you can open the
Mhm.
curtains, or you can use sheer curtains for a little bit of light, little bit of privacy also. And maybe at night, when you don't need natural light, you can use your black curtains or a blackout curtains as well. So, yeah.
Okay. And sometimes also I've seen in spaces that, the direct sunlight enters the room because the direction of the room may be like that. So for that also we can have our, the solid or the dark curtains
Yes,
closed.
that.
But
Yes.
when we require the daylight, then we can use the sheer or we can open the curtains.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Definitely.
So okay. So my next question, as users, maybe it's a very personalized also maybe. So what would you prefer in spaces when you design as interior designer or as an architect that morning sunlight should enter the spaces more or you will prefer evening breezes? I would like to have
Um,
both, but sometimes you get stuck up which one should be
yeah.
due to many constraints. So what would you
Yes.
refer?
See,
So
I think the type of climate that we're living in cities specifically, it's not very easy to get both. I know we all want both of them, but I
yeah,
think for me, it will be more of morning sunlight because we are living in a culture where morning sunlight automatically uplifts our day. We start our day with the morning. Many people do Surya Namaskar. They, give
yes.
jal or water to tulsi looking at the sun, or they even give water to the sun also. So it's very uplifting and it really starts your day with natural light. So I think it sets a positive tone. So morning sunlight is very important, I would say, in indoor space.
Okay. Uh, so plants okay, we understand that we should have in interiors. Any decor item you would like to recommend to our users?
See, obviously plants are there, है ना? Other than that, I
Yes,
think a
yes.
simple rug also, like a textured rug, maybe made of jute or cotton, it can add warmth and character without actually overwhelming the space. So you must have often noticed, like if you do not have space in your room, or you do not want to keep something that is vertically high, that gives you the space a vertical height, you can use the floor always. So you can always have a rug made of jute or some other material, and it basically combines the furniture also, but it also gives you a feeling of warmth and character also.
Okay. And because you mentioned the natural materials in rugs or carpets, so it goes very well with the kind of, the natural interiors we are talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, my next question, most calming spaces in our house, whether it is bedroom, living room, or balcony. So, what is your take on this?
Uh, See, I think it would depend from person to person, but again, because I am a nature loving person and I love to integrate nature, so I would say it's balcony, because it's often, for me, it's
Okay.
often the closest connection that I have to nature while I'm still at home. So, whenever I want to take a mental break from my work, or I just want to escape from the chaos, I go to the balcony, just sit there for a while, look at the plants, look at the greenery, and I just feel much more relaxed.
Okay. Okay. That's perfectly answered. Now, just
Yes.
my last question. You are a designer, you are a person who do interior styling. Okay, so what you prefer, even you do luxury interiors, do you give importance more to aesthetics or balance in interiors?
Uh,
So,
I think I think I would say balance, because in the name of aesthetics, what happens is we often tend to overdo. So what happens? People often get excited and they forget that plants or the elements that you're placing, they also need their space to grow, to breathe. Right? Every element should have its own breathing space. So I think balance is very important. Obviously, while maintaining the aesthetics, but it's very important that we give every space, every element its space, and every element should be highlighted and not be overcrowded by a lot of elements in kept together. So that is what I believe.
okay. So, if
Yes.
I summarize our discussion, so, okay, so it's a very stressful world these days. Everyone is very busy. And
Yes.
when they come to their resting place, basically, which is their home, so, and we don't have that much time to be in nature all the time, because the kind of culture we are working into, we cannot have all the time that kind of luxury to have visual connection with the nature all the time. So, as a quick tips to users, you can start small by just having, if you are spending, a good amount of time in your office, you can just have a plant, maybe a small natural decor item. You can just have soothing colors, and just don't keep a balance, don't overdo the things. Probably that kind of a small corner of you may find sitting and relaxing and reading a book if you are at your home. Maybe the corner at my background, I just sit here, and whenever I just want to read a book, so I use this corner. Okay, at that time I don't like to sit in my bedroom and do the reading, because the reading requires a completely different relaxing mindset. So now, probably you might have got some tips from our expert, how you can just make uh, some corner in your house, which is your space, which incorporates, some natural elements, and you can enhance your interiors, and then just see whether by making these small changes, you feel more relaxing. So we are, talking a lot on mindfulness, keeping, stress-free environment. These are small things we can do to keep our space enhanced, and which definitely affect our mental well-being. So, Pooja, I think it is very insightful, the kind of, tips we have given to our users. So thank you so much. And I feel very inspired. Probably I'm going to, tomorrow to my office and will do little bit changes on my desk. And I'm sure the users will be able to apply few tips given to them. And to everyone watching, just start small, as mentioned by our expert. Stay mindful, create spaces that make you feel relaxing and good. So, just some last, words from you, Pooja, and then we will going to sum up our session.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tanya. It was wonderful being here and talking with you. And I hope our viewers, everyone, feels a little bit inspired, to bring a little bit of nature into their spaces, some way or the other. So, yeah, I look forward to maybe probably getting some queries or maybe people posting pictures and tagging that we got some insight from our session. So, that would be wonderful.
Yeah, because this is, very important. Mental well-being is a very, very important topic of discussion these days, and we have different ways of, reducing our stress these days. In which enhancing the interiors in terms of nature is one, and we'll keep, having sessions based on such type of topics, which are, very easy to implement for users from our interior design department. So uh, I'm sure the session remains very insightful for all of us. So, users, don't forget to save and share the session and follow IMS DIA for more design insights. So, thank you, Pooja, again. It is wonderful talking to you on nature, which is both of our, favorite topics to talk on this, Monday hot afternoon in Noida. So, thank you so
Definitely.
much for your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.